The Journey is presented by Timney Triggers, making your rifle more accurate since 1946.
Before I introduce today's very special episode, I wanted to take a minute to say thank you for watching. This year marks my 20th year on air. Wow. It all started back in 1999 with Secrets of the Hunt, then Bushnell Outdoors, Cabela's Memories in the Field, Matthews TV, and now The Journey. Some of you have been with me every step of the way, and I sincerely appreciate it. I also appreciate our military, and that's past, present, and future. Because of these brave men and women, you and I are allowed the freedoms to live our life the way we want to. But freedom isn't free. It's sacrifice, honor, bravery, and sometimes blood. About a year ago, my friend Seth Manship from Poverty Canyon Ranch gave me a call and told me he was going to have 4 wounded warriors on a hunt in December. He wanted to invite us out to cover the event. And of course, I jumped at the opportunity. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to introduce you to 4 American heroes. First Sergeant Ryan Layton, thank you. Sergeant First Class Dion Esquivel, thank you. First Sergeant Michael McQuarrie, thank you. And Staff Sergeant Stephen Austin, thank you. Now let's head to Texas for this incredible event presented by Lone Star Wounded Warriors Outdoors. Life is a journey. We all have different dreams. We all take different paths. But some spend their journey helping others, giving their time and talents to make someone else's life a better place.
Did a lot of things, it was very hard.
And then I took over CPR.
And I put it on my card.
9/11 happened and wanted to do something else.
It was just to give back. I don't want anything in return.
So I travel this great land from coast to coast to say thank you by giving them an outdoor adventure they'll never forget. I meet a lot of exceptional human beings, and I see some shocked faces. But most of all, I see people who set an example of how we all should pay it forward. Our story begins as 18 wounded warriors gather in a tent on a rainy day. They had all received a rifle and a scope at last night's banquet, and today they were all led to believe that this was a safety meeting before heading out to 5 different ranches for their hunt. But it wasn't. It was a gathering to say thank you with even more gifts.
There's a little package here for everyone. There's a tag on here that says who it's for. So right here I have a Cody Taylor.
They're all done by ranches.
They're done by ranches. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm glad you said that. So jump in, find your stuff, see what you got. Merry Christmas.
It's Stump, boys. Over here with Chris. So if you need different sizes, we'll trade out with you guys. So just everybody try them out. You got
And one lucky vet would win a very special rifle signed by all his brothers.
You got Rick Man. Oh, he's coming. There, he's coming.
The donor does not want to be identified, but you can just yell thanks.
Thanks. Thanks too much.
So now you'll have to sign it for Dion.
And one by one, everyone took the time to sign the rifle provided by an anonymous donor.
Move it! Red style, box, and shirt. Lone Star Warriors Outdoors is a 501c3 nonprofit I started roughly 6-7 years ago. Our main goal is to combat PTSD and suicide prevention. We really work with these guys try to put them in a setting kind of like they were in the military, where they get the camaraderie, they get the ribbing that we all do, but we also have a time when they can sit there together and talk about things that happened when they don't have that at home.
Coming up next, our wounded warriors relax on a hunt at Poverty Canyon Ranch.
The Journey with Dave Watson is brought to you by Mexico, a world of its own. Visit Mexico.com. Tamaulipas, the hunting and fishing capital of Mexico. Patrick Starnes Outdoors, offering the most successful hunting and fishing adventures in the Southwest. And presented by Timney Triggers. Every rifle shoots better with a Timney. The Journey with Dave Watson continues.
Now let's return to Poverty Canyon Ranch, where breakfast needs to be made and all the day's hunts planned out.
Everybody that works on this ranch volunteers their time and for the hunt, and being part of Lone Star Warriors has been one of the most rewarding things we've ever been involved in.
And remember the vet who won the rifle? Well, he just happened to be hunting with us, so I just had to ask him what he thought. It's a sweet rifle.
Very nice rifle. Blessed. We're blessed.
And you got the signed one.
I did get a signed one. I did. Not knowing that the one I was the sign was also given to me as well.
Right. We eat a hearty breakfast, and I do mean hearty, and then it's time to head to the stands. Now on this hunt, we had 4 hunters, but only 2 cameramen, myself and Tim Walsh. And wouldn't you know it, everybody tagged out on their buck the first morning, and Dion got a good one. We weren't able to capture that hunt on video, but we did get a perfect shot on his doe.
This ranch is a beautiful ranch, really beautiful.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. Hospitality is unmatched. Very nice.
The does start to move in, and this ranch just has too many of them, so Dion volunteered to help them out.
You did good, man. Perfect. Perfect shot. Man, this has been a fun weekend.
Good guy.
Thanks, sir.
You just waited perfect time.
Yeah, you did all the work. I just told you when. Well, let's go get her. Hell yeah. There you go, man.
This is the one we chose, huh?
Yeah.
Why this one?
She's just good, big-bodied, mature doe. That'll fill a freezer for sure.
Good.
Yeah, you made a good shot. I can't tell where. I mean, she fell, but I think that shoulder is busted. So didn't go anywhere. That's what I like to see. And we had a couple options, but I think she was the biggest out of all of them. You're gonna get a lot of meat out of this one, I think.
It's pretty big.
Yep.
Good selection. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Great
absolutely,
guy. Great
man.
shot.
Thank you. Well, man, let's get her. Let's get out of here and get her loaded up. Get her cleaned up.
Then it's time for more barbecue. After all, this is Texas. A hot meal, a cold beer, and some laughs. These men have certainly earned it.
Many times the warrior gets home. I'll tell you my thing. I got home from Afghanistan. I went on a hunt similar to this, and it meant a lot to me. And then I came home. I had a wife. I had no military people around. I had nothing to talk to, nobody to talk to. And I got very close to suicide. And once I got out of it, once I was able to get above that, I started this organization. The reason is because I want these guys to be able to talk. I don't bring family members here for that reason. When you can't tell your wife what you did, which most people can't tell a wife what they did in the war, they look at you differently. They can't understand it. Only somebody who's been there can.
Stay with us. We've got some more exciting hunts coming up.
The Journey with Dave Watson is brought to you by Tamaulipas, the hunting and fishing capital of Mexico. Patrick Starnes Outdoors, offering the most successful hunting and fishing adventures in the Southwest. The Journey with Dave Watson continues.
This week we're hunting at Poverty Canyon Ranch, where 4 wounded warriors were treated to a well-deserved hunt. We gather in the parking lot to wish everyone good luck, and then we head out. I would be hunting with a Marine named Ryan Layton, and it was a blast.
We run a lot of hunts through this place, and every year this is my favorite weekend. I mean, the guys appreciate every second of it, and bringing them together. You know, there's the laughs, the tears, everything. I really enjoy just, I don't know, the camaraderie with all the guys, getting out hunting, going to the banquet dinner, and all the things that they're given. And it just seems like every year the guys that we get, it just gets better and better.
The bucks start to move, and then we see something that's amazing to witness. It's Peak Rut in Texas. When we were in the blind hunting, you told me what happened to you, and I don't want to bring that up and stuff, but it's such an incredible story that I'd like you to tell people what happened to you. You're on the chopper, you're on the minigun.
Yeah, I was on a machine gun, and we're inserting some special forces snipers for a named operation. We lost the helicopter I was on, coming in on short final, and basically lost reference with the ground. I felt the helicopter strike the ground, and I felt it roll over me, and I felt it roll over me once, and that's the kind of the scariest feeling you can feel when 1 minute you're in a safe helicopter and you got your night vision goggles and everything's green and nice and cool, and next thing a helicopter rolls on top of you, and kind of lost consciousness. And when I woke up, I was face down and it bent backwards, and the helicopter was on top of me, and I couldn't breathe. So I thought for a minute this was it, and I'd lost friends and before in crashes, and thought this is what they went through, this is what they experienced. And there was almost a brief pause of solace in that, of I could see my dad again, I can see some friends I haven't seen again. And I remembered back to my family, my wife back home, and that she would be alone. And I don't know, was kind of the last bit. I was running out of air just because I couldn't breathe the way my back was bent. Something just said, fight. No one's going to get you out of this. Just don't give up. And then what sounds like the worst thing, but the best possible thing was the weight started just basically crushing my vertebrae from my L2 up sequentially in sequence. They just started popping from the weight, and it collapsed me down enough on top of myself to where my diaphragm could open up and I could actually get half a breath in. So when you think my back just broke, this is the best thing that could have happened. That's not always the best thing. So I ended up releasing out of my gunner's belt and started digging my way out and popped out, you know, on the side of it and realized that we had some other people hurt. Did my best to go over and try and help the two that were still underneath the wreckage and do the best we could for them. And then as the rescue guys came in, which was the 210th Rescue Squadron out of Alaska, those guys are heroes to me. Once I know that they were coming in, they told us to, basically we had to get out of the way to push down the side of the mountain and leave our friends behind.
But now we're hunting in Texas, Ryan, and here comes a buck with your name written all over it.
Drop shot. Shot. You dropped him.
The Journey is presented by Timney Triggers, making your rifle more accurate since 1946. The Journey with Dave Watson is brought to you by Mexico, a world of its own. Visit Mexico.com. Tamaulipas, the hunting and fishing capital of Mexico. Patrick Starnes Outdoors, offering the most successful hunting and fishing adventures in the Southwest. And presented by Timney Triggers. Every rifle shoots better with a Timney.
For an incredible hunt at one of the most beautiful ranches in Texas, call Seth Manship at 325-473-3140 or log on to PovertyCanyonRanch.com. Before the break, Ryan Layton made a dead-on shot and dropped his buck.
Oh, drop shot. Shot. You dropped him. He's down.
You dropped him, dude. You dropped him. Ooh. Good shot. Very good, man. Very good.
Let's stay on him.
Okay. It's rack, bullets in, weapons unsafe.
Yeah. Just good job.
Good guide.
Good guide. It was good guiding, buddy.
Thank you.
Wow. Man, you put him right down. He was quartered away pretty hard, but I mean, you tucked it right.
Just breathe, put it right on there, did the 3D pass through.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It was excellent.
Awesome. He's awesome.
Dude, that was exciting. Hey, that's a good deer, man. Hey, get your hands on him, man. That is a buck. Look at that. Dude. Some ground growage right there. He is better. What a gnarly old buck, man. Those brow tines.
Those are awesome, man. That's so cool.
Well, I appreciate everything you've done, man, for our country, and wouldn't be here today without y'all.
It's a privilege to do it.
Yeah.
And it means a lot for us. You know, guys like you taking your time and doing this for us means more than you know.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Congratulations, Ryan. That's one heck of a buck.
First of all, I mean, it was incredibly humbling and hard to take in. I'm a guy that's has a hard time enjoying things. And I think it goes along with part of what happened to me, a little bit of survivor's guilt. So when people make a big deal about what I've been through, I tend to go internal with it, and I have a hard time acknowledging how much it means to me, even though inside I'm jumping up and down. Then I tend to go internal with that and go, you know, hey, well, you shouldn't be having fun. You shouldn't be enjoying this. You went through something horrible and people lost their lives, and you're here. That's kind of tough to take sometimes. But Chris Gill, Lone Star Warrior Outdoors, Poverty Canyon Ranch, everyone here was awesome.
But what's really awesome is the great service you've done for your country. We're glad you're home.